After 3 agonizing weeks, an emotional reunion for parents whose children were released. Tears and hugs greet the youngsters, now free and safely back with their parents.
My heart ache. My heart ache seeing the children lamenting over the failures of the leaders in the nation. My fellow Nigerians, what kind of Nigeria are we building? What kind of Nigeria are you thinking, or are you going to offer for your children and your grandchildren tomorrow? Is this the Nigeria you are going to offer for your children? It is only a lunatic who will interpret the heartbroken of these children to be a tears of joy, just a tears of joy after all they be released and they will be kidnapped and be released. It is just a tears of joy. It's only a lunatic set of human being that will talk like that. The kidnapping of children is a most horrible and grievous crime against God and humanity. That is so dramatic. It's a dramatic problem that can have long-lasting effects on their mental and physical well-being. Children who have been kidnapped may experience a range of psychological issues. That is why I ask you before, what kind of Nigeria are we building? This problem, including post-traumatic stress on them, traumatic stress issues, including all of this, which is called PTSD, depression, anxiety, and difficulties with trust and attachment. This might also suffer them to have nightmare. It can also lead them to have unnecessary fears in life. What kind of Nigeria are we building? I say that I ask you again, my fellow Nigerians. Can't you see we are all sitting down a gunpowder where we continue to be applying same formula and be expecting different results in the future of Nigeria? This horrific situation, we are just compromised. We are seeing it's being compromised already in the society. We are messing up the mind of the children tomorrow. Is this kind of Nigeria where we are going to offer to our children? This will infiltrate fears in them. There must be a change in their behavior, such as aggression. Even physically, the stress and the trauma of those children's experience can lead them to health problems. What kind of, because people are the society, people are a nation. If the minds of the children is being messed up today, tell me the Nigeria you are going to get tomorrow. And these children, they mistakenly being subjected to violence or neglect. There could be injury or their developmental issue as well. This is, we will see all this condition. Let's listen to a wonderful senior man in Nigeria. This is a man of God and is a teacher. This is a high time going to listen to divine wisdom from men like this.
I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. There is something I saw online yesterday, and I heard Otito Oju, Kola Otito Oju, analyze it on channels, TVC News, Journalist Hangout, I was greatly disturbed. This is not the nation we thought we will inherit and we will leave for our grandchildren. The northern elite in Nigeria are greatly responsible for the problems they have. A known kidnapper called Wadume. I heard yesterday that it's an adulteration of what can you do me. Notorious kidnapper in the north. At the same time was distributing money to the poor. So the poor are part of our problems. He was arrested by the presidential team. And as they were going with him to where they were to take him to, either Abuja or wherever, there was a call made to a military officer, most likely a benefactor of that Wadume. And they mounted a roadblock waiting for the policemen who went to arrest him. And they shot dead these policemen. Military men shot dead these policemen, led by a military officer. And the Wadume was carried by the military man and a police officer that is not on duty was called to unlock the handcuffs. And the handcuff was unlocked. Eventually, news broke out that the man that he unlocked his handcuff was a kidnapper, and it was police officers that were shot. Wadume was sentenced to 7 years imprisonment. The military officer that shot, organized for police officers to be shot, killed. Nothing was heard about him. Some said he was dismissed from the army. It was not made public. It was not made public. He was not charged to court. This is the country we live in, with two standards of rules for different segments of the country. And Wadume was released from prison after serving a few years. And when he went back to his community, he was in a van with an open roof, waving to a tumultuous crowd that welcomed him. Crowd of poor people, crowd of the same people that are kidnapped, assassinated, killed and raped, the same people. There's something wrong with the psychology of Nigerians, particularly the northern elite and the northern Talakawas. Celebrating a released kidnapper. It is in the same north that kidnappers, known bandits and terrorists, are turbaned by leadership, religious leadership or traditional leadership. It is in the same north that governors go to visit bandits. Recently, I heard that palliatives should be sent to bandits in Sambisa forest, while normal northerners are struggling for food and hijacking trailers of food, breaking into warehouses. What kind of country do we live in? What kind of rules do we have? I was imagining that kidnapper waving to them. What message do you send to the youths in the north? That there are two sets of rules for you. You could release Wadume, but you cannot release Nnamdi Kanu. who was just agitating for his people's liberty, and then you went and raided his house. Then you said he jumped bail. Which normal person will hear people shooting? And then you will wait. Then you kidnapped him illegally from Kenya. The Supreme Court said he should be set free. You are still trying him. You are trying Emefiele. Good for him. But what of the person who he worked under, who gave him directives, Buhari? We have two sets of rules. One set for the North, one set for us minorities. In the South, a kidnapper's house will be demolished. Wadume's house was not demolished. Two sets of rules. In the South, a pastor can be arrested for criticizing the president. In the North, a pastor will call for the death of the president's wife. Nothing is done to him. In the South, if you dare talk about secession, unless you are Yoruba or Igbo, you will be arrested and you can die in prison. They can even tell you that you should not wear your traditional cloth. But the northerner can wear his traditional cloth to court. They will even criticize you no matter what you have done to airlift Nigerians from South Africa, from whatever, for wearing your traditional cloth, Ishiagu cloth. To fly a plane to London, you will be called a tribalist. But we can wear northern attire, wear another attire during Olympics. No person will criticize. How come the former national anthem, though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand? How come Okwama was destroyed because military officers were killed? That is very, very bad to happen. Don't kill our soldiers. Don't kill our security forces. But if it happened in the North, no person will suffer any consequences. Wadume has been released. Evans is there. I hate kidnappers. I don't like kidnappers. Justice should be equally dispensed in this nation. I tell you one thing, the greatest tragedy that happened to Nigeria and to the North is Buhari coming into power. Greatest tragedy. He destroyed everything. And the greatest, most corrupt segment of Nigeria is the judiciary. And a lot of the northern elites talk with two sides of their mouth. They will talk about Nigeria, but they are primarily northerners, primarily religious bigots. Very few of them speak straight. One of them is Buba Galadima. Another one, Colonel Umar. Most of the other ones talk from both sides. They have tongues like iguana. It's sad until the northern elites sit up and know that the rule of law should apply and they should follow due process in everything they do, and to realize that this country needs every segment of this country to do well. We need the North, we need the West, we need the East, and we need the minorities like us to do well. If not, we are heading towards Yugoslavia. We are heading towards Yugoslavia. I pray that it does not happen. All the northern protests and criticism of Tinubu, did they criticize Buhari like that? They kept their mouths shut. because they were benefiting from the rot, benefiting from the corruption, benefiting from the dysfunctionality. If it were to be Igbo people that are using cattle to destroy crops around Nigeria, they will have exterminated the herdsmen. But as long as it is the untouchables, no person will do anything. It's a sad country, sad country. I saw this long time ago, and I said that my genes, I will export my genes outside Nigeria. I will raise children outside this country. My grandchildren will be outside this country. I will not want them to suffer the indignity that some of us from the minorities are seeing. Very, very painful, extremely painful. And I feel sorry for intellectuals. Look at a kidnapper being celebrated. There's a boy from the north who is the chief car designer for General Motors. I think his name is Jelele. He attended Kebbi State Polytechnic. He designed the car called Volt. If he comes back to his state of origin, nobody will welcome him, but will celebrate a kidnapper. Good God, what country is this? I want to thank the Lagos State Governor for welcoming Pelumi Nubi, the woman who drove all the way from London to Lagos alone, and for the warm reception she received, the gifts he gave to her, and the appointment he gave to her as an ambassador. Let's start celebrating reasonable people instead of celebrating dirty people. This nation will not change if we continue like this. See, this is gray hair. This is gray hair. If elders don't talk, children will eat vultures as chickens. And the Igbos have a saying that if evil continues being accepted and celebrated and tolerated for more than 2 years, it becomes a tradition. We are raising a tradition of duplicity, stupidity, and dysfunctionality in Nigeria. I feel sad. I don't know whether I will tell you whether I'm your friend. I feel sad.